Hello, Green Meadows, and welcome to the next in our series of Zooming In video interviews with the teachers and staff around the building of Green Meadows. So far, we have had Mr. Johnson and Mrs. Bright, our principal and assistant principal, and today we're spreading it out and going through the staff even more. Our guest interview today is none other than Mr. Catron, the PE teacher at Green Meadows. He is super excited to share his thoughts with you guys. I know he misses seeing all of you in the mornings, during class, and even at lunch, and we can't wait to hear from him. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, do so that you can get all of these videos updated right to you when we publish them. Also, we put a link in the description about our sportswear. I know some of you are really missing being at Green Meadows, and if you'd like some sportswear to keep your spirits up, the link is down there. A portion of those proceeds goes back to Green Meadows PTO, so we can use that to buy things for our school. We hope you enjoy this video. We'll see you after the break. Hey Green Meadows, today for our interview we have Mr. Catron, the PE teacher. I know he is definitely missing seeing you guys running all around in the gym, and he's excited to answer some questions for you, let you learn a little bit about him. So welcome, Mr. Catron.
Hey, Mr. Miller and everybody at home, how we doing?
Pretty good, glad to see you. I know you just put your little one to bed. We're recording a little late this evening, but it should be a fun time, and I'm looking forward to asking you some fun questions and seeing what your reactions are.
Yeah, it's finally quiet in the house, so this is a good time to have a meeting.
Yeah, I understand totally. The first couple questions that we have are just some Green Meadows questions, kind of like your history of teaching at Green Meadows. And I think these questions help our students and our staff learn a little bit more about where we come from and what we've done in the past. And it just gives them a little bit of an insight into education. So let's start with our first question. How long have you worked at Green Meadows? And to follow that up, did you teach or work anywhere else beforehand?
Yeah, good question. This is my year at Green Meadows. And prior to Green Meadows, I was a kindergarten teacher at Blue Ridge, where I taught there for about 5 years. And then I did a little bit of work at Head Start for about a half a year, and then also did a couple of maternity leaves up in Twin Lakes School Corporation in Monticello.
So you've been around education for a little while, I would seem, huh?
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong with being a veteran. You're not quite as old as I am, but you're getting there.
I still like to consider myself a rookie. At least I act like a rookie. I like to be the kid of the group and enjoy a good laugh every so often. But yeah, if you start peeling back the layers, I've been here for a couple of years.
We can tell you like to be the rookie when you're walking around the hallways. So since you've been at Green Meadows, what's your favorite part about working here?
I especially as a specials teacher, we get the opportunity to do a lot of interacting with everybody. So, we're not, I don't want to say stuck with a class, but we're not assigned to 25 to 30 kids by ourselves. We get to see everybody almost every day. Along with our duties, we get to see, our third, fourth, and fifth graders during certain days of lunch duty. Every morning I get to see all their beautiful faces as they walk in. Some are exhausted and some come in with smiles, but either way I get to, touch base with everybody, give high fives and see and wish them a good day. So that's one thing I really like about my position at Green Meadows, just having that opportunity to interact with everybody.
Yeah, we definitely get to build those relationships with all of the kids in the building. It's kind of a unique perspective for us.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've learned a little bit about your Green Meadows history, and now let's try and pry open some of those personal questions on you and see what the kids really want to know. So let's start out with, what is your favorite movie and why do you like it so much?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot here. I'm a big action guy. I don't want to say shoot 'em up and gory, but I do like a good action with some explosion, things like that. One of my favorites, it's a classic. It's called Con Air. It's the one with Nicolas Cage in it. And also another one with Nicolas Cage in it is The Rock, which are both action movies. And I just enjoy those two movies. They're oldies but goodies, and I can still watch those things every day. So those are old ones. A new one that I've fallen in love with since my daughter is obsessed with Disney Plus is I love the Wreckit Ralph series. So Wreckit Ralph and then Wreckit Ralph Breaks the Internet. Those are two of my favorites right now that I enjoy watching. And as any toddler, she'll watch it about 8 times a day. So I've got about the whole thing quoted.
Well, I'm hoping that Wreck-It Ralph doesn't break the internet while we're in the middle of this interview. That would be unfortunate.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. I've seen all of those movies, and I would agree they're all good. Okay, so if you could perform in the circus, what act would you be? We know you like to have fun, so I think this is a good question for you.
And I think, you know what, I'd probably be the one dressed up like the clown. I'd be the guy going around either making the balloon animals or going around and spitting fire and just trying to make everybody laugh on a personal level there. Not so much up in the air, and I probably wouldn't be on the back of an elephant by no means. So I'd have my 2 feet on the ground, and I'd look beautiful in some makeup and a nice red wig and a red shiny nose, and I'd be making balloon animals all day.
You definitely do try to make people laugh. I know our first Zoom staff meeting that we had, you wore a wrestling mask into the meeting, so that was pretty funny.
Hey, we had to lighten the mood up, and at that time it was still pretty fresh, so we just wanted to make sure that we can do business but still have a good time. So yes, that was my intention then.
That's right. It's always business and fun all at the same time. If you won the lottery, what's the first thing you would buy?
That is a good question. You know what? I'd probably get the house paid off. The first thing then I would buy is probably a brand new truck. I'd love to have a new truck. Kind of like that librarian we have at Green Meadows. He's got a nice red truck, so I'd probably just buy one like his.
I do enjoy my truck. Thanks for pointing that out.
Are you saying that you're the librarian at Green Meadows then?
We prefer the term media specialist, but I'll let you go on that one since we've been out of the building for a while.
Okay, thank you. I needed to get that off my chest.
All right. So if you could personally witness any event in history, what would it be? And why would you like to see it?
I think it'd have to be something very historic. Just growing up, my parents and I, including my brother, did a lot of traveling, not necessarily to the beach and things. We did a lot of history things, going to, a lot of important places in history, Washington, D.C., Gettysburg, did a lot of tours there. So I think I would have to do the Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln and get to witness that. I think that would be pretty awesome.
That would be a pretty cool thing to see. I don't know if you just heard the lightning crack outside my window, but that's kind of interesting too. We'll have a little background soundtrack. I've actually seen some of the Civil War reenactments when I was a child. Those are really neat to watch too. So yeah, I could see that being an event that you would really like to go to.
Yeah, I've seen those. I've seen those on movies before, but I've never encountered one personally. But I bet that would be pretty awesome.
They're very neat and very accurate, and it's really cool to watch. No one gets hurt, obviously, but okay. So you talked about going a lot on vacation, and that kind of leads me into the next question. Where would you most like to go on vacation, and what would be your big thing you would have to do while you were there?
I think right now, I've never been somebody that's really been interested in flying over the Pacific or the Atlantic. I'd definitely be staying on the continent itself, whether it was going all the way up to Alaska or, down to Mexico. But to be honest with you, I love national parks. We do a lot of that as much as we can when the opportunity comes. Obviously, with a 2.5-year-old right now, walking around cliffs and Red Rock isn't really, appropriate to do. But I think I'd be going to the south part of the state of Utah, where there's about 5 national parks, and spend about 2 to 3 weeks out there and get the opportunity to see all the beautiful rock formations and hikes out there. So that would be one of them. Another option would probably be driving or flying up to Alaska and getting to see not only Canada, but seeing the beautiful landscaping of Alaska.
Oh yeah, I've watched a few YouTube videos of people that have driven the road all the way up to Alaska, and it is something I would absolutely love to do. I'm not sure Mrs. Miller would be as big of a fan, so I'd probably have to do it with another relative or something like that, maybe a brother or so. But I think
yeah, I got married to one of them too. But you save me a seat someday, and we can make it happen.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, last question. This is a question I've been asking everyone. I think it's interesting, and I think the kids would love to know. What is your favorite app on your phone?
I'd probably have to say Instagram. I do enjoy. Wow, it's really cracking lightning here right now. But I really enjoy Instagram. My wife would tell me I'm probably on it too much, and I probably am on it too much. But I enjoy, catching up, seeing what everybody's doing, especially in this time right now. Who's outside? Who's exercising? Who's enjoying the warm weather? Who's hiking trails, riding bikes? What fun activities and creativity they're doing inside right now to keep busy and keep their kids busy. And a lot of people right now can learn off of that. And that's one thing I've been doing is learning on how to keep a 2.5-year-old busy while being quarantined inside the house or, around my yard. So that has been interesting to me to watch. But yeah, I'd have to say Instagram is probably my favorite app right now.
I could see that, especially with your being such a big fan of the national parks. You can catch a lot of information and learn a lot of things about those national parks on Instagram too. So
absolutely.
I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time to be in this interview. I know sometimes people are a little leery about the questions they might get asked, but I always tell them that there's nothing here that we wouldn't want anybody else to know. So we just really appreciate you having fun with us. We know the kids are glad to see you, and we wish you the best during the time that we're away from school. So thanks again, Mr. Catron.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on. If I could quickly, tell anybody that's listening at home is when you guys get done with your work at home and you guys get your work completed, get outside, enjoy the weather when it's possible, exercise, stay in the yard, play around. Obviously, keep your social distancing and follow all those rules. But enjoy the fresh air and get some exercise outside, guys. Thank you, Mr. Miller, for having me on here. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. We appreciate you. Thank you very much, Mr. Catron.
Absolutely. See you guys. Stay safe. I love those two movies for some reason. I'm not even a Nicolas Cage fan. That's the crazy thing. I just enjoy those two movies.